Oh my fucking God. Can you believe it? 3-1 up at home against Manchester City. Chance after chance after chance after chance. And we go and draw. I am absolutely lost for words. It feels like a massive loss because the first half. Bear with me 1 second. The first half we were really poor, really passive. Just not stood off Man City. We just weren't up for the fight. We're losing all the physical battles, every single duel in the middle of the pitch. We were losing. Um, we didn't carry a lot of threat on the counter attack. I mean, they were just totally dominated the game. I think they had all of the possession, all of the chances. I think at one point the statistics were 91 touches in our half, in the Man City final third, and 1 touch in the Manchester City in the Man City half for the Everton final third. And we turned it around. We got to 3-1 in the game. And to be honest with you, we should have been out of sight. We should have been miles ahead at that point because the second half we were miles better than Manchester City. We should have been 3-1 earlier, 4-1 earlier. And we ended up, and it's past the watershed, and I'm really fucking disgraced by that. The fact that we've gone to 3-1, despite Iliman and Jai, who had a poor game, kept wasting chances. He hit it Donnarumma twice. And he had other chances as well. He was really poor with his finishing in the game. But it's fucking knobheads. We got it. We somehow still managed to get it to 3-1. Barry with the 2 goals. I mean, quite pissed off with the TV coverage because they're showing the Manchester City player reactions rather than Everton actually celebrating the goal, which is just a disgrace, really, because we've scored a goal to go 3-1, taking us into, I don't know, 7th place in the league. And then straight off the kickoff, what are we doing? We're all asleep. They're more interested in celebrating 3-1. Get the game won. Show some common sense. Gonna move some more quiet. Get the game. Get the game won. Use your head instead of mucking about celebrating. And they had massive chances to stop. Pissed off. Moving away. This is the problem with those 2 centre-backs. They can't defend large open spaces, and they've got zero pace. And straight from the kickoff, we concede a goal. We've gone 3-1 up against Manchester City at home in the Premier League. We haven't had a good home record at all. We've been rubbish at home. We've had fans going out on cold nights and getting nothing time after time after time. Today was the chance to put a marker down in that stadium and actually try and win a game, to give something back to the fans who spend the best part of £1,000 each to watch Everton at home this season, and they go and do that. We've been gifted goals. Let's be honest. We've been gifted goals, but then you go and concede at 3-1 a goal like that, where it's just straight through off the kickoff, 1v1. What are you doing? And then to still be in the game, to still look relatively comfortable, we started to get more aggressive towards Manchester City and win the ball higher up the pitch without Doku, without Semenyo turning every single time and running at you. And for some reason, I appreciate the players were tired, but we've got players jogging back. We've got people who can't get in position, people who are not in the right area. We should be running the clock down, getting it in the corner. It's so fucking badly managed. It's unbelievable how badly managed those last 5 minutes of stoppage time were with those substitutions. Yeah, I understand Tim Bunham. He's knackered at that point. He put in an amazing shift in midfield. The other player who came off, Merlin Roll, he got an assist. He could have had one in the first half with the one that Donnarumma parried away, where he was at the back post for Beto to tap in. And it was just, fucking fat bastards on this cruise ship. Food all the time. Moving out the way. Fucking be honest with them. I'm moving into a different place. You know, be back in a second. Been trying to get some fucking quiet privacy on this place. The guy starts hoovering. Fucking relentless. Gonna have to come outside here and there's fucking music. I'm on a cruise ship. I was watching the game in the Brody's bar on the cruise ship with all loads of Evertonians celebrating wildly. There was a Manchester City fan who was absolutely fuming at 3-1. And I couldn't believe that Everton hadn't made it 4-1 with the amount of chances Iliman and Jai had going through 1v1. We blew it right at the end. That's the point I was making before. You did that against Liverpool. It was inexplicable. You've bottled it. You were 1-1. You clawed it back. You showed character. Beto equalising. And then you go. And in the last minute, you concede a corner at the home end in the first Merseyside derby at Bramley Moore Stadium, and you let Virgil van Dijk score it. And then you do the following week, you're trying to show some encouragement against West Ham United, poor team, bottom of the Premier League, looking like getting relegated. Again, you've had a stinker of a match. You've come back into the game. You've somehow managed to get back into the game to make it 1-1, and then you let Callum Wilson, who's about 40 years old, who hasn't scored a goal in months, score from, I think was it a corner or something? It was a long ball into the box. It's absolute shite, and you think, Manchester City, we've written it off. We're 11th in the league. There's no chance of Europe whatsoever. You look at the teams around us picking up points. Bournemouth, absolutely flying. You look at Everton, and we are in 11th position at that point. And you think, nah, there's not a chance we're going to get Europe. But then you think, look at the 3 games we've got left. Sunderland, you've got Sunderland, who have got nothing to play for. You've got Tottenham Hotspur, who have shown character against Aston Villa and are not going to be an easy game because they're going to be battling with every inch of their life. And you've also got Crystal Palace away, who have arguably got nothing to play for in the league. And I think they've got some, I don't know if they're still in European competition, to be honest with you. I don't think they are. But still, turn this fucking music off. What's wrong with people? Quiet place to have a moan. But you've got to 96 minutes in the game. You've made these substitutions. You've brought on. Save it's quiet in there. Oh, they're hoovering everywhere. Fuck off. Lads, you're gonna have to listen to the stupid music in the background. Ugh. We're pissed because we were 3-1 up in a match we haven't won in 10 years. Last time we beat Manchester City was 2017 in a home match. We're so close to doing it. A massive, monumental win in front of the whole world, and we go and concede a goal like that. And it's just written in the script. What are you doing in the last 5 minutes? Well, you've made those substitutions. You've brought on Nathan Patterson out from the cold. Then you've brought on Alcaraz. It was fine in moments. He worked hard. He was tenacious. He held the ball up, but some of the decision making was poor in those few minutes. Get it in the corner. Hold on to the ball, Barry. Get it away. Get it into the corner. You're messing about with it, and just substitutions. You're right, Ross. They were terrible. Poor substitutions late on in the game. And I can't say it cost us, but we had a chance just before that where they had the corner and we dealt with it and we run up and City got away with it. They had no goalkeeper in. And they go up the other end, and because we've got 3 players still jogging back, they outnumber us and they get another corner and Donnarumma comes back up for the corner. And they're just waiting to hit the shot. Doku, just get out and close the shot. Stick everything you can on the line. It was a carbon copy of his other goal. It was with his right foot this time. Bends it into the corner. He's an unbelievable player, but what are you doing? It's an unbelievable finish. I mean, you can't stop that. It's no fault on the goalie whatsoever, but the lack of willingness to close it down. Let me see if anyone else wants to jump on. To be honest, guys, this feels like a massive defeat. A heartbreaking defeat. It almost feels as bad as the Merseyside derby because of what that meant in this moment. Winning a match in front of the home fans who've suffered so much this season at that stadium. And then you show a lack of game management. I think he tried to with those substitutions, but they were turn this fucking shit music off. Turn it off. I don't know if anyone can hear it. It's irritating. Yeah, I don't think you can necessarily blame Alcaraz, but why is he not closing down? He stood off him. It's his man. The drop-off between the players who came on compared to the players off, very good. Now, I'm going to try and be... Okay, the centre-backs are a massive problem for Everton. Massive problem. But 2 of the goals are long shots from outside the box. I'm not sure you can blame them. The second goal is a joke, as I've talked about before. I don't know how anyone can score that kind of goal straight from a kick-off. It's amateur. Moyes will be fuming. But I just want to give some credit to Thierry Barry because he was in the right place at the right time twice. He got booed on from what we could see on the TV. He got 2 goals. So credit to him. But we should have been out of sight. And I just can't believe that I'm sat here on a match preview talking about this draw. We were crap in that first half. I've got to be honest with you. We were crap. We were crap in the first half. Um, thank you. There's no, I wouldn't mind Toffee Man, but there's not a single person where I am, and it's just blaring in my ear. We were really bad in the first half. I mean, I think we were all really surprised about the team selection. Merlin Rolfe playing on the right side of midfield. And then you think, well, McNeil, with his inability to use his right foot, probably really going to struggle with his mobility on that side. So he went for Merlin Rolfe because he thinks he can do a job there. And although I thought he struggled in the first half, as did Jake O'Brien, once we started to get at Manchester City, we looked a lot more comfortable on that right-hand side. That was a real surprise on the team sheet. And obviously Garner Gay, injured, he was someone you would have loved to have brought on late in the game to help put out fires. But look, we were passive in that first half. We were so bad. We had one chance that I can recall, which was the Merlin rolling behind, flashed across the face. Donnarumma palms it away. Beto obviously is anticipating it to go in one way, and all his momentum takes it away. Of course, Doku, they're queuing up. They're just passing around it on the edge of the box, and they just queue up. Both goals, the first and the third goal, are carbon copies of each other. Carbon copies. Manchester City are a very, very good team. And the result doesn't suit anyone. I think that's the league gone for City, because I think Arsenal will win those games. And they'll all be made up tonight that Everton took points off them. He did. Timur Abunam. He was a slow starter, TJ, but once he got himself going, once he became unafraid to put challenges, he put challenge after challenge after challenge, and he worked really hard in that midfield. I'm not doing a guess because I'm not going to be sat on here too much longer, I'll be honest. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I agree with you, James. I didn't expect anything from the game, but once you start dangling a 3-1 lead at home and you show the amount of chances we had on the counter-attack, and we concede in the 97th minute of 6 minutes of added time, then I'm sorry, but it feels like a loss, and I feel angry. We did, Tommy, in the first half. We had too many passengers in the team, but to be fair to them, they stepped up in the second half in key moments, and the midfield ran. James Garner, Timur Abunam, Merlin Roll, and Iliman Ndiaye kept running, kept causing problems for them. I know people criticise Moyes' late substitutions, but the substitution to bring Barry on for Beto worked. He just looked like he could get in the right place at the right time and put himself about into areas. He just had a bit more mobility about him, and I don't know whether Beto was still suffering with a little bit of the aftermath of the concussions. What do people want to talk about? Because I feel like I've had a big rant, and I'm so fucking pissed off and upset about that result. And I can't imagine how it must have felt for those fans. I had to sell my ticket. I can't imagine how it must have felt for those fans who thought they were winning. Good point. Peter, it is a fair point. Roll was knackered, Tommy. He didn't stop running all game. I thought Mikalenko did okay. He grew into the game. He got better and better. I think you're dealing with Semenyo and Doku, who are outstanding footballers. You really have to accept that they're on another level. How are we all feeling then? See if it can. Would I have taken a point before the game? Probably, but I think context is really important. Just doing this poll. Did we deserve more? Did we get exactly what we deserved? I haven't looked at the table, Mr. Blue Skies. Can you show me? Does the point help us in any way whatsoever? I do think that the final 3 games are winnable games, and I could see us getting 7 points. So whether that's enough for Europe, We needed to win today. As soon as the goal went in, I kind of stormed out. So what was the Everton players' reactions like at full time? And 3 points off seventh. It's just catching up. What would we have been if we'd have won? Look, probably at the start of the season, the aim was minimum top 10, outside chance of Europe. I just think the worry with that is you're at risk of losing your better players. Njai would be one of them. I don't think Dewsbury Hall would go. Njai and eighth with 3 points. Yeah. Europe isn't happening, lads. Fuck it off. What's the point? I wouldn't mind, but I'm pretty sure we did the same thing away at Arsenal. We were really good. We bottled it late on, conceded a goal. We did it at West Ham. We did it Liverpool. Yeah, but the ball wasn't in play, Tommy, so it can't be a penalty. How many times have we bottled it this season? How many times have we thrown away points, whether that's a draw or a win late? Moyes must be absolutely livid, but he'll come out and say Man City are just an unbelievable team. He'll protect his players because he'll think of the bigger picture, the 3 matches left that we've got. And who are those, Peter? Is that poll work? Has anyone been able to vote on that poll? Feeling tired now. We're actually an hour ahead here. We're going to Barcelona tomorrow. Can't really be asked. I think something like that really just knocks you for 6. The Liverpool defeat took me about 3 days to recover from mentally. And that feels like a massive loss, even though it's a draw. Tim did so well. He did. Someone's voted on the poll, though, so it must be working. Happy to talk about any points people want for the last few minutes of the stream. But they've also won points, Tommy. Man United away. Hang on, didn't we bottle that? I'll be back in a minute. I want to know what David Moyes has got to say, but I'm just thinking in my head then, we crumbled against Brentford and Bournemouth. We lost both those games really heavily. Brentford and Bournemouth, really bad defeats. We also lost badly to Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United, both teams below us in the league. And we lost to Liverpool at the last minute. We've now crumbled this one. We had 4 draws against Wolves and West Ham and Aston Villa. And we were out the cup in the 3rd round in both fixtures, but We lost at home to Sunderland in the cup. Don't know why that poll's not sharing. To apologise. Need to sort it. Home form is disgraceful. I mean, who's accountable for this? Surely the chairman has got to say what you're doing at home is wrong. The way you set the teams up overall. Now, what I will say, a point against Manchester City at home in isolation is a decent point. But it's over the context of a full season where you're losing games constantly at home and you're drawing, and the manner of the draws and defeats. Look back at those last 5 minutes of that game and look at the counter-attack where we had from the goal from their corner when Njai is running to try and put pressure on them, and they go and win another corner from that moment because we've got 3 players jogging back, not getting back. We lost. Did we lose to Leeds as well? We drew with Leeds. We drew at home to Leeds, lost to Bournemouth and Brentford. It's so bad. We do, Peter, the problem is we don't have enough firepower and the defenders aren't that strong when they've got when we play attacking football and the defenders have to defend 1v1 or a high line, or they seem to struggle. I mean, we did it to some extent in the second half today. I know, mate, Mr. Blue Skies. It's awful. Draw and lost to Leeds. I remember Barry scored the goal, great finish, but it could have been out of sight. I think Calvert-Lewin hit the post, didn't he? I'm going to wrap things up here. I don't think there's much more I can add. The feeling is gut-wrenching. I think we were very, very good in that second half, but if you switch off in key moments like we did at the end and for that second goal, then against teams like Manchester City, they're going to punish you and you get what you deserve. I don't know where we go from here. We've got 3 games left. I can see us picking a couple of wins up and just narrowly missing out on Europe, 8th place. And I would probably say that would be a good season overall, but it gets you nothing. It gets you credibility for next season in the transfer market, but I don't trust the way we've bought players overall. Although some of the signings today were pivotal, Barry and Merlin Roll. Thank you, Mark. Tommy, absolutely does feel like you're like that. But in summary, bad first half, 1 chance, total domination from Man City without really creating a lot. I don't think Haaland touched the ball. Come out the second half, completely different team, all over Manchester City. Chance after chance, Iliman Ndiaye. I think Beto had 1. Barry got 2 goals. We're in pandemonium. We should have been out of sight. We were look more comfortable than ever. We conceded a second goal from the kickoff straight through. Inexplicable. We make some substitutions, and we fail to see the game out in disgusting fashion. And Robert, we can blame the ref, but you still have to deal with what's in front of you. And on that bombshell, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching.